we focus on health matters because health matters.
I like that.
Yeah, they try, they try.
I like that.
We are focusing because health matters. Wow. And to help us go through this conversation, we have a new friend on the show.
Yes, becoming a regular.
Yeah, a registered dietitian, Hillary Clinton. Charlie, it's funny because your friends in America, they are not happy. It wasn't a good week for them.
For all of us.
Oh, you were part.
I like that.
Oh, you were disappointed.
Not really,
but you hoped it had gone elsewhere.
Maybe.
Wow, Hillary, welcome.
Thank you.
We'll delve into the issues we have to discuss today, diabetes and all there is. But just for our viewers, right? We asked the question early on about what you made of the president's statue that he'd unveiled at Efiam Kwanta in the Western region. A lot of your messages have come through. We are still putting together a lot more. If you we are calling for a lot more messages, you can do so by 0204 447 033. Send in all of your messages. We'll make sure to read all of it just before we get off the set. Hillary, diabetes. Last week I was saying that when people say diabetes, the next thing that comes to mind is sugar. Is it really the case, or should it be the case?
Not necessarily. So last week we spoke about this. Everything you eat is going to turn into sugar, so it doesn't necessarily mean sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, or honey. Everything, your proteins, your fats, your carbs, at the end of the day, they all turn into sugar.
What's the difference between the type 1 and the type 2?
Okay. So type 1 usually happens in the early stages of life. So you see with kids, 1, 2, 3, around that stage. Then type 2 usually with the older people. Because type 1 is autoimmune, the body tries to fight against you, so you start to have diabetes. But with type 2, it's lifestyle, your life choices. Genetics play a role though, but mainly lifestyle.
Is it hereditary?
It plays a role, but then you would have to also play a role for the genes to work.
I like that, play a role for the genes to work. So what should I be eating to, make sure that the genes do not take over and give me diabetes?
Sometimes you see a family and they are all obese, or you see a family and they are all skinny because they have a similar pattern of eating. Okay, so when one goes away from home, things change a bit. So if a family, say the mother has diabetes, you see the children or the other members of the family tend to stand at risk of having it because they have a similar lifestyle. So we'll try to do the right stuff now. We mentioned it last week, type 1 and type 2 has some similarities, usually in the management. So you focus on whole grains, moderate amount of lean protein, then healthy fats. But for type 2, we'll do more of the plant-based proteins. So your beans will come to play, your black-eyed beans, your soybeans. We'll do more of that than the meats and the chicken and the fishes.
Okay, so if I'm eating, or if I sit at a meal, if I sit down to have a meal, how often should I eat? Should I do today I eat once a day, just to make sure that I'm scared to get diabetes, so I eat once a day, or maybe I eat twice a day. How should I be managing what I eat to ensure that I do not get diabetes?
Okay,
or I'm managing it.
With type 2, you're supposed to do 3 meals and 1 to 3 snacks. With type 1, you need a steady supply of glucose or energy, so they do a lot of snacks in between. But with type 2, you can do 1 snack, 2 or 3 snacks. But your 3 main meals are constant. We can't compromise on that.
When you say snacks, my mind automatically goes to biscuits. That's a snack.
So we have healthy snacks, like yogurt with some seeds, or your salads, or your soups, or your smoothies. You can actually make smoothies in a healthy way, so you can snack on those. And there are some juices, I don't want to mention any brand's name, but there are some drinks you can actually snack on.
Really?
Yes.
And they don't have any of those things that you people have been mentioning? Right. So what diet should I say I should be following if I'm a type 2 diabetic patient?
So Usually we say modified carbs.
Which is?
So we are going to modify the kind of carbohydrates you are taking.
Right.
Okay, so we'll stay away from the refined carbohydrates.
Which ones are the refined ones?
The refined ones are the added sugars or the processed ones.
Okay. Okay,
so your drinks, your biscuits, your pastries, you are going to stay away from those ones. Is that fine? So we'll stay away from the refined carbs. We'll do mainly the whole foods. We are going to add a little bit of dash dyes. That is for hypertensives, because last week we mentioned something about a metabolic syndrome.
Right.
When you have diabetes, cholesterol comes in, your BP start going high. So we'll try to manage all of them as if they are present. So we'll manage your weight. We'll check if the BPs are fine. Your salt will be reduced. We'll stop the processed foods, the artificial spices. All of that will be cut. Then we'll focus mainly on the unprocessed foods.
Is keto or going totally vegan an option?
I wouldn't advise that.
Why not?
Keto is actually for epilepsy patients. It's for seizures. But we use it for weight loss.
I didn't know that.
So it's for seizures.
Did you know that? I didn't know, because everybody's doing keto to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's for seizures. So if you don't have a seizure, why are we doing keto?
You're joking. Because it's a trend. A lot of people are doing, sometimes you're scrolling through social media and then keto management meal plan, etc, when to eat 8 hours fast, something. It's for seizures.
Yes.
And going totally vegan is not an option.
You can, but then I would advise we do partial. Even though plant-based foods, we are encouraging that for type 2. There are some minerals and vitamins you might not find completely in the plant bases. So we'd need a little bit of the animal-based proteins to top it up.
So if I'm not diabetic, can I be vegan and it'll be fine?
People choose to, but then I think partial will be better.
Okay, so not full-on vegan, but partial, where you chew, fish?
And people do eggs, people do milk, and all that. Because there are some vitamins, say B12, most vegan people are deficient in that vitamin because of they are not getting it in their foods because they're taking just plant bases. So we add a little bit of that to balance it out. If not, you'd have to be taking supplements.
What kind of supplements?
So the vitamin you are lacking will give you the supplement for that.
Okay.
You know, I just wanted to talk briefly about the relationship between stress and diabetes, because we find ourselves in an environment where a lot of people, because of their work or family or whatever reason, resorts to a lot of like stress eating, right? You know, they'll drink because, even on the show we discussed with Reverend Safa Samati today, where they'll go to a bar to drink because they are frustrated at home and stuff like that, and they end up consuming all kinds of things which may not necessarily be good for their health. So I just want you to talk to us about the relationship between stress and, because me, if I'm working late night, my cook is by my side, you know, and I work late night a lot. So, and I'm sure there are people like me. So just talk to us about the relationship between stress and how to be minded not to consume certain foods that could ultimately negatively impact your health.
Okay, so we are going to handle this from two angles. Once you are stressed, you know your BPs start going high. And we've spoken about the metabolic syndrome. So once your BPs are going high, your sugars will start going high. And once you are stressed, there are some hormones that start skyrocketing. The cortisol, the adrenaline, they start skyrocketing. Then they reduce the sensitivity. So now, if you guys remember, we spoke about the key and the lock last week. So now the body is not able to take up the glucose you are taking. So you take your meals, it turns into glucose, and the body is not receiving it. It stays in your blood, then the sugars start going high.
So then, is there like a meal plan you can adopt if, for example, you know you work very late hours, you're tired, you're stressed sometimes or often at work? Is there like a meal plan that could come to you and say, hey Larry, like sort me out, you know, give me something I could follow to just manage my exposure or the risks to diabetes?
Okay, so with our clients or our patients, we always tell them diet plans are individualized. you have to like what you're eating. It's supposed to be according to your preferences.
Yeah.
So you see a professional according to what you like. Everybody's plan is going to be different. We plan it proportional to what you would like to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't have to be sad when you're having a meal because you're not happy with it. So you see a professional based on what you like. The meal is planned for you.
Let's say I have diabetes, but I like to eat out.
Okay.
How are we managing that?
Eat out for what reason?
Because I don't like to cook.
So now we have to change that mindset.
Or maybe we don't know how to cook.
We change that mindset.
Yeah, but like cooking is learned, right?
And,
It's not,
and I can teach you that.
yeah, but like maybe I don't have the time to also learn, so I would prefer buying food outside. Would the advice then be where to buy the food from, or what to buy?
Or even how to manage what I buy.
Okay, so the first option is make your food at home. That is the first option.
That is
if you can. Yes. But then because of work, some people are not able to take food to work and all that. You stay out for a long time. Recently, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but then there are restaurants coming up for healthy meals. And that has a restaurant like that. It's called a dietitian's kitchen actually. But then I've seen a couple around. So you can check your location. If you find something like that, you can lean towards that. But then if not, when you're out, we'd have to stick to, say, salads, yogurts and all that.
I'm hungry, I think
So,
salad.
if it's a usual thing, if it's a daily thing, salads are filling.
Some,
But it depends on what
you
is
need
in
like
the
2
salad.
portions.
No.
Oh.
So you just check your location. I'm sure you'll find a restaurant that serves healthy meals, then we can stick to that.
Wow. You know, it's interesting. But then maybe just some final words on what to really be mindful of and guard against, right? For those who are prone to diabetes, also because, like you mentioned, it could be hereditary. What should they guard against in terms of what they consume?
Okay, so like I've said, we are going to have 3 meals. It's supposed to be for everyone, not just diabetics. So 3 meals, no 010 or 001 anymore. We are going to have 3 meals. Really,
that is economically, you know, is the economy that decides that.
The economy, not your pocket.
So we'll try as much as possible. 3 meals, we'll stay away from processed foods, all the processed proteins, your sausages and all that. We like kebab a lot, so we are going to stay away from that. Try and make sure that we are eating whole grains. We have an amount of vegetable on our plates. We are not skipping the meals here. And we are physically active. We try, not necessarily the gym, but they try and some activity, jogging, walking. They're all good. About 30 minutes to 45 minutes, 3 days in a week should be fine.
Wow, you know, it's concise but straight to the point. Yeah, and I just maybe a final thoughts, because there are also people who binge a lot on snacks. You know, maybe they'll put some small shop in the office at the reception somewhere. They are selling chocolate, they are selling, and every now and then you know, so you are tempted to eat it more. And I see people also like have snack boxes by their desks in the office and all of that. What's the professional thinking or advice around people who snack a lot and often snack sweetie or sweet products?
Okay, I'm a snack person myself. I like chocolate.
I like chocolate too.
It's very difficult, but then it starts with the mind. You make a conscious effort. You're not going to keep snacks around anymore. So even if you want to, we can do healthy options. Maybe a granola bar without honey. Okay, unsweetened.
Sister Weeper.
So we are going to keep the snacks away, but then if you want to, we can do something like that around. You make sure they are not in reach, then you make sure conscious efforts. You're not going to snack. It will take some time because you're used to it, but then with time,
Is dark chocolate a healthy option?
yes, it's a healthy option as compared to the milk one.
But it's bitter.
It's nice. I don't know why people complain about dark chocolate.
It's
I
nice.
love it. I love it.
That's good.
I love dark chocolate, but Jude is disagreeing with me.
Hilary, thank you so much.
Thank you
You know,
for having me.
it's always a pleasure having you. A lot of the time, some of the things we talk about, we know it, but it's the discipline to go through it, right? So maybe one time we should spend time on how to be mentally tough, right? Because I'm sure there's a training and there's a science to it.
Yeah.
There's a question here for you, though, just before we move on. Hello, Jude and Eno. Can I do, well, I think, hello, Hillary, rather. Can I do intermittent fasting to lose weight as a diabetic? If not, what would be the other option?
No.
No. Emphatic no.
No. But then, with intermittent fasting, I realized there are ratios to it.
Okay.
So then we can even choose the least. You eat for a longer portion of time, then you starve. But then even with that, it's not so healthy because, like I said, you need a steady supply of energy for the body. If not, it tends to rely on your stored fats, breaks them down into sugar, brings them back into circulation. If you're unlucky, your cholesterol starts skyrocketing as well. So then it's not an option.
Thank you, Hillary.
So next week, can we give a preview to what we'll be discussing so our viewers,
We'll think about that.
we'll think about that, come up with something
Yes.
based on what the spirit will drop.
Yes.
So I like that.
I thought you were taking us on break.
Yeah, just very brief thoughts. It's a wake up call.
To you,
And to you,
who's always drinking Coke.
and to you,
Coke.
and to you,
Jude,
like
Coke.
I've accepted my flaw.
I mean, I don't
You
snack on the biscuits. What you find me eating is chocolate.
You don't know. You just you don't know it. That is why
Chocolate. That
Wow.
one, dear.
But even with the chocolates, I'm sure when you pick a bar, you see a recommended 7 size. So you're going to stick to
But
that.
that's the full bar.
No, that's not
Hey,
a full bar.
hey, it's okay, Jude. Take us on break.
admit, but I know it.
Jude, take us on break.